Hi and welcome to Healthy Life Hacks. I'm Jefferies, the present day wise woman, a realistic naturopath coming to you from the surfing beaches of Australia. This podcast is for those of you who are wanting to really rock your life and health and live from a place of prevention. Let's get into today's episode. The last few years has seen many of us just having a little bit too much life happening to us. And you know, we're all individuals. So what I find really big to deal with for me can be really trivial for someone else and kind of vice versa. And I wanted to talk a little bit about some ways to steady ourselves when it's just a little bit too much. Okay, so not coping shows up differently in all of us. It can show up as things like frustration and anger, really highs and lows, like, I'm good. No, I'm not good. Like withdrawing, this is one I've totally done in the past. Can't think straight, that really overwhelmed kind of brain. You might be feeling anxious, tight in the chest. It can show up with crappy sleep and energy. So like you just running, you flipped your lid, you're going down the rabbit hole, and it's throwing your sleep. It can be, it can show up in so many different ways. But for me, I thought I'd just touch on, just briefly, this is a really short bullet point, to the point kind of thing. Because what I know is if you are not coping and you had everything going on, you don't need the 10-page essay to explain it. So if you are in that place, I feel for you. And I just wanted to share with you 7 kind of hacks that I've used to help cope with stress. And mindfully, the majority of the time, bring them into my everyday life to help me cope with stress in the future. That's the thing. Don't wait to get to that point. And I've had plenty of those points the last couple of years, like a lot of people have. So these are my 7 hacks to help you cope with that just too much. The first one is to breathe. Literally just breathe and breathe deep. So when everything's going on, it's really easy to just get stuck in your head and forget to breathe. And so breathing and mindfully pushing the belly out, drawing a deep breath in. When I go surfing, I did a course with one of my surf coaches on ocean confidence, and breath is the very first part of it. And we do, what's called a box breath, which is literally, I'll visualize for 4, breathing in one side of the box, hold it for 4, breathe along the top of the box, let it out, hold, breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, box breathing. I'll put a link in the show notes because it helps me so much if I'm overwhelmed out in the surf and just think, fuck, I can't cope. Waves coming, too big, scary, all that kind of stuff. My brain defaults back to box breathing, and it's helped me even just with life. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes because it's helped me heaps. So the first one is breathe. Bloody hell, breathing keeps us alive. Number 2 is to unplug from the media. I know over the last couple of years, just there's been so much negativity. And even I've said to my mum, stop, just don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. I haven't for years, like decades. Really mindfully just don't want that conversation in my head. But there's still just so much going on. And I get it. The wars, all the things are going to happen anyway. Us stressing out about it is not going to help. So unplug from the media. That's it. Number 3 is to self-soothe. So do what works for you. For me, baths, warm soothes me. I have a sauna in the house. I'll go and jump in my infrared sauna and just be warm baths, aromatherapy essential oils. I'll put a link to my chill out blend, which is just exactly that. It's just been that my brain thinks, well, I'd rather be hanging on a hammock under a couple of palm trees than dealing with life at the moment. That essential oil helps me just to take the edge off. Live from a prevention is the next one with your eating plan. So what we know is that, eating, when we're stressed, we get outside the alkaline corridor. We absolutely go off track with our eating. We crave shit food, all those kind of things, and we'll tend to go to stimulants. So me in my younger days, I defaulted to alcohol. That didn't help. Fuck, I ended up as an alcoholic. That was terrible. And everyone's got the thing, whether you go to sugar or you go to carbs or you go to drugs or you go to alcohol, whatever it is, we want to keep our body calm the most of the time so that we don't go, defaulting that way. And through all these kind of things that I'm talking about, I've integrated as basic body systems nowadays, or support systems nowadays. So I don't go down that that default that I did for so many years, like to alcohol. So this is just the bottom line. And you can go back through all my podcasts where I talk about every one of these in bigger ways. But this is just the bottom line for if you aren't coping, think about tapping into some of these. So live close to nature the majority of the time with your food. Avoid stimulants. Do everything you can to avoid stimulants. Drink water, keep your brain hydrated so that you can think clearly. Really important, okay? Number 5 is to make sleep a priority. When you are in it, you've got to make sure, and life sometimes can be going, that kind of life can be going on for a while. So sleep being a priority, there's nothing more important you will do all day. Being disciplined with sleep is the biggest thing I've done in my life the last 30 odd years. And I've done 3 or 4 long podcasts just on sleep. Go back and check them out. But adaptogens are a huge part of what I do. And again, go and find the podcasts on adaptogens. I give you every answer when you need the long version. If you're in overwhelm at the moment, go and grab a bloody sleep. Like really seriously, just let yourself just breathe and just calm. That's really important. But adaptogens are a class of herbs that help our body adapt to stress. Take them in advance. I've been taking them for 30 odd years to help me cope so I don't get to that place that like I used to when I was younger and didn't manage my stress. Essential oils. I'll put a link in the show notes to my Sanity Saver blend. It contains an oil called vetiver. Now, this is an oil that helps keep you grounded. I have a very busy brain. I'm a go fast kind of person. And so it's easy for me to go down the rabbit hole. If my brain is getting to that place, or it's a blend that I actually like to use, most days in some way. I like to use it on the soles of my feet. It keeps me grounded so I can think of one thing at once, not go creating stories about what's happening, just to stay grounded. Number 6 of the hacks is just get a support network. Ask for help, whoever it is, whether it's people who are close to you, family. If they're too close, go outside of that. But what I learned is that we are service-orientated beings. We like to help other people. So give people the honor of helping them. Ask for help. Now, they still have the right of refusal, and you don't need to create a story if they're not in the space to be able to help, support you, but ask for help, whether it's professional help. And I'm going to put some links in the show notes to things like everything from Beyond Blue to Lifeline, the Black Dog Institute, whatever it is. But get help. And then the other one, really most importantly, is to just keep swimming. Dory said it best in the Nemo movies, and that's just keep swimming. Just keep moving forward. When I walked the Camino back in 2014, I walked 800 kilometers across Spain. I reached a point where I couldn't cope. I got it still in my body. That's amazing. That's years ago, but I can feel that in my body right now. Like I just reached a point I thought, fuck, I can't take another step. And took everything in me. Wow, that's triggered me right there in an instant. That's amazing. That is not finished with in me. But I just thought to myself, I just have to, one step at a time. I can't even think how I'm going to do the next 10 Ks today to get to the next town. I just had to take one step. I just had to keep swimming. Just this step. Just think about, just take this one step. And then the next time, just take the next step. And it's important. We just have to keep moving forward, and then we'll move through it. But we've got to keep moving forward. So the 7th one of the hacks to help you cope with stress is to just keep swimming. Just think of Dory. Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Just keep swimming. It's helped for me. So look, there's so much information out there in the world that's free on coping with stress. These are the bottom line 7 things that I do for myself to help me when there's too much life going on. I hope it's been useful. Track down some of my previous episodes. There's a ton of information in them. So healthy life hacks for this episode, pretty simple. If you've had too much life happening, have a look at that list of 7. Go to the show notes and have a look at the list of 7 and see which one you can try on. Just one. Don't try and do them all. Just do one. And then healthy life hack number 2 is to think about coming from a place of prevention to help you handle life in the future when it's a little bit too much. What I know is if we can keep our bodies physically and emotionally in that place where it's not such high extremes, and we've got these support systems set up, we won't go into such a place of helplessness maybe in the future. So if you want to check out the show notes, head over to www.healthylifehacks.com.au. I will have links to the adaptogen tonics that I use. I'll have links to the couple of essential oil blends I have mentioned, as well as some very cool support networks. Look after yourselves, guys. Look after yourselves. And then I want to thank you for being here today. If you enjoyed my podcast, please let me know by leaving a review on Apple Podcast. Every month, I draw one lucky person who leaves a review on Apple Podcasts to have a free 1-hour consultation with me. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you're tuning in from so that you always catch the next episode. And if you would like to receive a free copy of my Feed Your Body ebook, simply click the link in the comments below. Join my newsletter and we will get that free ebook sent to you. I welcome your emails and you can write to me at podcast@healthylifehacks.com.au. Until next time, remember, when it comes to life, live it, love it, and get on with it.